Comfrey is a wonderful herb to use now or for when SHTF happens. It is good for so many things. Let's dive into comfrey and understand it more. In the past, comfrey has went by other names including knitbone, blackwort, bruisewort, and slippery root. Comfrey means to bring things together for healing, and that is exactly what it does. It heals open wounds and bruises, helps with stomach ulcers, helps burns, bladder infections, broken bones, gout, inflammation, all these things. This is just a few of the wonderful benefits. The parts of comfrey that are medicinal are the leaves and roots. It is best to harvest the leaves when they are large. The roots are best harvested in the fall. These parts can be made into a tea, a tincture, ground down and put into capsules, or made into a poultice. We will go into more benefits and how to use these parts in a moment, but first, let's talk about growing it on your homestead. Comfrey grows in the shade or sun, although it likes growing in sunny locations better. It also likes a lot of water. It's usually found growing wild near bodies of water like streams or creeks. You can use it internally or topically for medicinal purposes, but you can also use it as a fertilizer. It is great in compost piles or around the base of trees. You can even make a comfrey tea and water your plants with that. There are different types of comfrey. The most often seen is common comfrey. The technical name is Symphytum officinale. This type of comfrey is very hard to control. The seeds drop and it spreads fast. This can be a good thing on a homestead simply because of how fast it does spread. This can be used for some of your animal feed as well as used medicinally. Another type of comfrey is Russian comfrey. This has the same medicinal properties, but it just won't spread nearly as fast. You also cannot take the seeds from Russian comfrey and replant them. It is just like when a horse and a donkey mate and create a mule. That mule cannot procreate. The seeds of Russian comfrey are sterile and will not create more comfrey like common comfrey does. When taking comfrey medicinally, don't take it if you have liver problems, pregnant, breastfeeding, or taking lots of prescription medications. It is also recommended that you do not take comfrey long term or in large amounts at one time. Teas can be made with comfrey. It is better to make this with cold water instead of warm. This will have soothing effects for gut inflammation, urinary tract infections, lung irritation, throat irritation, liver inflammation, gallbladder inflammation, canker sores, mouth sores, coughing, or when having post-dental procedures. If you have hemorrhoids, genital warts, or postpartum tears, you can add comfrey to a tub of water as a sitz bath. Using comfrey topically has no side effects and is very safe. A tea can even be made and used as an eye wash. You can even help a cow with mastitis or uterine infections by making comfrey tea and adding propylene glycol. If you are using it topically, comfrey is great for burns and wounds, but do not use it if you have a puncture wound. It heals so quickly that the internal parts of the puncture wound may not heal as fast, which may lead to infection. It can also be used topically for gout, inflammation, and to heal broken bones. One last thing to mention is how scientists will try to discourage people from consuming comfrey. There have been reports stating it is toxic to humans and animals. However, you have to look closely at the studies and how they are conducted. A case study was done with a group of 6-week-old rats. Now, case studies are different than controlled studies. Case studies have many unknown variables. Controlled studies takes into consideration every known variable possible. In the case study, the 6-week-old rats were fed a very concentrated form of comfrey as 40% of their diet, and they developed liver tumors. Therefore, scientists report through this one generalized case study that comfrey is bad for humans. For one, don't eat comfrey as 40% of your diet. If you ate sugar as 40% of your diet, you would have repercussions. Also, don't take it long term. Number 2, case studies have many variables. It isn't a controlled study where comfrey is the only variable. What I mean by this is we don't know what else the rats ate or other outside factors that could have contributed to their deaths. And number 3, every animal has different livers. Take dogs for example. Their liver will not tolerate grapes, whereas humans can eat grapes. Rats' livers cannot tolerate chocolate, whereas human livers can. It is not accurate to say that humans have the same liver reaction as rats. The rats could have been given 60% of their diet as chocolate in the case study. We just don't know. Without having all the information and variables, there is no way to conclude that the rats died of liver tumors based on consuming comfrey. Comfrey has been consumed by humans and used as an herbal medicine for more than 2,000 years. If taken correctly, with the previously mentioned contraindications, comfrey can be very safe and very effective. As you can see, comfrey is so amazing and beneficial to have on a homestead. In an SHTF situation, you may have to be your own doctor. It is best to start understanding and implementing these types of medicinal herbs now. I hope you have enjoyed learning about one of my top SHTF herbs. I appreciate you watching. Please continue to help me help you by liking, sharing, and subscribing.